and doors! Welcome back! Or should I say, welcome to, I don't know which one, but both of them work. To Umineko Tsubasa HD! Oh my god! These Hello Void Dweller. Wait, do you watch the window? Crop. What do you mean by crop? Wait, is it fit to screen? Stretch to screen? Like, what else is on the window? Oh, I see what you mean. How the fuck do I do that? Diggity dang damn it. Oh, I see your point. How do I do that? Hello Chi, welcome to the stream. I am technologically illiterate, in case that wasn't clear. Hello. And, okay, well, it tells me how to do that. This is, as you all know, the Umineko Switch Edition, which contains many, many new features, including the 4 stories that we read earlier, but it also has all the old Umineko Tsubasa. And, thanks. Umineko Tsubasa and alright, that's just how it's gonna go. And Hane as HD with voice acting for the first time ever, and CGs and like all the new sprites. Before we just had some, in standard definition, just like a fan mod of Umineko Tsubasa and Hane with, the new sprites added. And they kind of sort of remade it. But this is an official version. I can't wait to read it. Let's go, Burncastle's letter. Oh, do I remember the order? I vaguely remember the order I read these. Apparition. I will try. Drag the border? Oh god. That makes me really nervous doing that. Oh wait. That just makes the window smaller when I do that. No, that doesn't change anything. Great, let's get started. And yep, it's all voiced. To my beloved friend. Are you feeling well? I think we now know who this is actually to. Such a conventional greeting would most certainly sound like sarcasm to you now. Ah, Birdie Burns, you said the thing! Shut up! That's why it'd be kinder of me to ask like this. Are you still alive, my beloved friend? Thanks for the reply the other day. I was very surprised that you still had the energy at least to write to me. Well, the one who urged you to write an answer was me, though. Even so, The fact that you mustered energy to at least write for me, for my sake, was a great surprise. Or a miracle. And also, thanks for the valuable feedback. I agree with your opinion too. Yeah, so nobody had any idea who this was being written to when it was first released, but now we can pretty much safely say it was being written to Featherine. Perhaps the wire puller is indeed Lambda Delta. That girl probably found a witch who had the worst affinity with me to stake revenge on me. And was waiting for me to take the bait. And I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I understand. I guess you're writing to me just because of how ridiculous I look now. This is set during the question arcs, the early question arcs, by the way, so just for context. I feel you're wearing your malicious smile. However, considering your illness, she might be a precious being for me. If she is a much higher ranked witch than I am, it means she is that much closer to your disease. In other words, it means that what she's doing is the only way to escape from the disease that eats into you. No, into us. And she's putting it into practice. And ironically, it also means she's teaching it to me. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. This is just all gigantic foreshadowing of Bernkastel learning how to use the game board and just foreshadowing the awakening of Featherine, like really. Just all foreshadowing, but no way anyone could possibly know at the time. But if by getting on with that girl's farce, your disease will get better. I'd like you to please lend me your strength. Lambda Delta boasted that I will certainly not be able to win on this game board. Hello, Godress, welcome to the stream. At that time, I paradoxically identified the role X. She's really a stupid girl. Yeah, stupid like a fox! In other words, it's just like that one story that would always begin on June 20th. You know the one. How could I forget? Probably. This is the core of the witch named Beatrice.
なるほど。だとすると、このベアトリーチェという魔女は確かに面白い。
Indeed, if we consider it that way, this witch named Beatrice certainly is interesting. Ah, shut up!
私もあの子も、そしてあなたも知らなかった世界を彼女は切り開いている。
She opened up a world that neither I, you, or Lambda knew about.
それを魔法の根源とするルール Y。
It is Rule Y that makes it into a source of magic.
ラムダデルタも少しは触れたようだけれど。
It seems Lambda Delta touched it just a bit.
彼女の域には到底及んでいない。
But Lambda can't possibly reach her level.
もしこれこそ魔法と呼ぶならば、ベアトリーチェを除き、私たちは誰一人魔女などと名乗れないに違いないよ。
If this very thing is what we call magic, then the only one of us who could possibly be called a witch is Beatrice.
その意味において、自らの魔法体系を組み上げた彼女は、魔女としては初心の部類に入りながらも、
In that sense, we may say that since she put together her own magic system,
その域は魔女をすでに凌駕して、あなたの域にまで踏み込みかけていると言えるかもしれない。
well, she had help from Maria. Even though she's just getting started as a witch, she's already surpassed witches. And she's even starting to approach your level. Yeah, it's definitely Feathering she's
もし
talking
彼
to.
女がそれを強く意識し、理解したならば、
If only she was fully aware of that. Can you believe it?
私は愚か。ラムダデルタさえも足元には及ばない。
Dang, yeah, Beato was so close to obtaining ultimate power. If that was the case, not even Lambda Delta would be a match for her. And I even less.
そして多分きっと、あなたと同じ病に侵されることでしょう。
And most probably I'll be affected with the same disease as you.
しかしそれにしても、実に面白い。
However, even so, this is really interesting.
このルール Y こそが、魔女ベアトリーチェの存在そのものではないかと見ているの。
I see this role Y as the very existence of the witch Beatrice.
そう。
That's right.
ここまでは私も解析できた。
I managed to analyze this far.
そしてもう一つ。
And of course, there's the final rule.
ルール Z があるのは間違いないの。
Rule Z.
だって、ルール X と Y だけでは説明できない現象があまりに多数観測されているから。
Because the number of phenomena being observed that can't be explained with the rules X and Y alone is way too big.
ルール Z の正体は不明。
There's the game board, as viewed from Feathering's dimension. I'm not entirely sure what Rule Z actually is.
ラムダデルタの言動から探るの。
According to Lambda Delta,
どうもこの要素が私にとって致命的に相性が悪いものの様子。
it seems that this component has a lethally bad affinity with me.
それがヒントなのだとしたら、
If we assume those words are a hint,
一体何なのかしら。
then what on earth is this component? Hello, Birdcastle. Welcome to the stream. That's true. Even before Maria, it's really interesting to note that you can tell like which pieces were created by Maria and Beatrice together, and which ones are like actually separate and like their own existences. Are that all the ones that are based on like that's true. Gop was Beatrice all on her own, but Gop was only given her identity as Gop after Maria came. she was created, true, but she was only given the identity. But yeah, it's interesting. You can separate them by the fact that the ones created with Maria and Beatrice together were all based on demons from actual mythologies, and the ones that aren't are just like, they're quote unquote real, exist in their own reality, separate, that weren't created by Beatrice. I think that's just a super fascinating way to have a story where the ones that you think would be quote unquote created are the exact opposite.
私はとりあえずこのルール Z を真相から煙に巻く迷路的な存在だと仮定してみた。
For a while, I had assumed that Rule Z is a maze-like existence hiding the truth.
つまり
In other words,
ルール X と Y に私を近づけまいとする迷路ね。
a maze to not let me come close to Rules X and Y.
私の力は100年をかけて迷路のすべての分岐を確かめて地図を書き上げるのに似ている。
Yep, she's essentially playing four-dimensional Etrian Odyssey with this. My power, just like writing up a map, making sure I don't miss a single fork in this maze. Even if it takes me 100 years.
つまりどんなに複雑な迷路であろうともいつかは必ず攻略できるということ。
In other words, no matter how complex the maze is. Oh, there's a bit of a typo. One day, I'll certainly be able to walk through it. Ah, Betty Birds! Come on!
ちなみにラムダデルタの場合だと
By the way, if it was Lambda Delta,
出口にたどり着くまで1000年をかけようとも右壁に沿って歩き続けるようなものなのかしら。
I guess she'd just keep on walking along the walls until she arrived at the exit, even if it took her 1,000 years.
いいえ、出口まで一直線に一切回り道をせず、すべての壁に穴を開けて通り抜けていくような感じね。
No, actually, she would drill holes into the walls in a straight line until she reaches the exit without taking a single goddamn detour. God damn it, Lammy D, you and your chandelier bullshit!
そんな私と相性の悪い迷路とは一体何？
So, how does such a maze have a bad affinity with me? Huh.
考えつくのは一つしかない。
There's only one thing I can think of.
つまり
Perhaps
地図を書いていくことが意味のない迷路。
this is a maze for which a map cannot possibly be written. It's a fucking random generated dungeon. Fucking hell.
例えば
For example,
ぐにゃぐにゃと常に形を変える不定形の迷路とでも言えばいいのか。
perhaps the maze has an indefinite ever-changing shape.
なるほど。
I see.
この概念ならラムダデルタの言うじゃんけんでも説明できるかもしれない。
If it is this general idea, I may be able to explain it with the rock, paper, scissors game that Lambda Delta talked about.
私の力でも攻略できない迷路でも壁をすべて貫いてゴールに迎える彼女には全く障害ではないわけだし。
I can just picture like Lambda with like, one of those hand crank drills and like a helmet on, like just like drilling through the walls of a maze. I can't reach the end of this maze with the powers given to me. But to her, with her fucking drill, this maze is nothing.
概念では理解できるの。
I can understand this as a general idea.
でもルールとして捉えようとすると全く理解ができない。
But trying to think of it as a rule, I don't understand anything at all.
だってルールとは本来不変なものでしょ
Because rules are supposed to be immutable, right?
不定形なるものがルールであるなんて私の知る常識を超えている
Something so indefinite being a rule is beyond my understanding.
固体でなければならないのに液体のような一面を持つなんて
Even though rules should be solid, this one is fluid.
まるで水銀ね
Kinda like Mercury.
水銀はラテン語で生きた銀
In Latin, Mercury means living silver.
そして不老不死に通じると信じられ錬金術師たちの研究対象として珍重された
They believed that it leads to perpetual youth, and it was highly valued as a research object by the alchemists.
皮肉ね
Oh my god, that's hilarious. It's ironic.
つまりはまさに彼女の自称する魔女や錬金術につながるということ
Turns out this is connected to alchemy and witches. And she considers herself to be a witch.
このルール Z が解けない限り
Unless I can unravel this rule Z.
いいえ解けないからこそベアトリーチェはまさに魔女であるということ
No, because I can't unravel it, Beatrice will remain an actual real witch.
ああここまで書いていて腹立たしくなってきたわ
Writing so much bored me the fuck out.
あなたはここまでを読んで絶対に笑っているわ
If you read everything up to this point, you must be laughing.
ええかけてもいい
I'd be willing to bet on it. Yes, you're right, child of man.
そろそろ私の困り顔を見てさらに嘲笑ってやりたくなってきた頃でしょ
And now that you're seeing me make this face, you'll want to sneer at me even more.
近いうちにあなたのところへお見舞いに行くわ
This was just some epic foreshadowing. This was released like years before Featherine made her first appearance. Before long, I'll pay you a visit.
見舞いの品は私
But for now, I will serve as your get-well gift.
好きなだけあざけり笑うという
Sneer at me as much as you want.
好きでしょ
You enjoy that, right?
そういうのは
I know you do. You bitch.
だから久しぶりの友人を迎えるためにどうか生き返ってちょうだい
Please, revive at last, so I can meet a friend who I haven't seen for so long. This whole thing is like... There's in some way, somehow, Featherine and Hanyu are the same person. That's what it really seems like to me. Like, through time travel or whatever, like, one of them is from the past or future, and she bonked herself at the end of Sotsu or something like. There's definitely it really seems like that, because, or unless we're missing some lore, maybe you'll fill that in later in the future. But for now, it does seem like that Hanyu Featherine bonked herself. So, and essentially turned her into her own self. And it took her a long time to revive back into, Featherine.
まだ親愛であると信じているあなたの友人ベルンカステルに
From the friend you believe hold dear, Berncastle. Love is an illusion, a misunderstanding. Mutual love is a mutual misunderstanding of being mutually loved. An engagement is a vow to never wake up from that misunderstanding. Oh, that was Renove. God damn it. Renove. Hello, Ray Unit. Welcome to the stream. Many things were found in your room. I think this is Erica. Many things were found in your room. Without evidence, it's possible to infer that you love me. Many things were found in my room. From that evidence, it was possible to infer that I love you. Nothing was found in her room. Oh, this one is Berncastle. However, the possible existence of undiscovered evidence X of unfaithfulness cannot be denied. That was Berncastle. And now they put this CG there of her apartment there. Yup, this is a replay in HD with voice acting. Yeah, just of Tsubasa. Yeah, so it's gonna make us do this. Alright, so I recommended I follow this order, which is so weird. Like, why is Game Master Battler right there? That makes no goddamn fucking sense. Like, that's like a late game thing. I'm not gonna do Game Master Battler as the third fucking one. That's bullshit. Jeez. Like, these three are all answer arc stuff. I want to do all the ones in the question arcs first. Like, seriously. Game Master Battler is the third one? That makes no fucking sense. This one. This is the big one. That is just huge lore shit. Like, to me, I'd say if any Tsubasa was absolutely required to know, it's this one right here. Oh, I like Game Master Battler. No, don't get me wrong. Oh, wait. I'm saying that doing it as the third one in order is just bullshit. Seriously. I want to do all the question arcs ones first before I do the answer arcs ones. But yeah, the Witch's Tanabata Isn't Sweet is just like the biggest lore one by far. Like, if any Tsubasa was considered like really required reading, I would say it's this one. And you're about to see why. Writing one's wishes on a bamboo leaf and hanging them on a bed is certainly familiar custom to anyone in the human world. However, for a witch, Tanabata is quite different. Look at this, all these new CGs. Yeah, I'll do memoirs, the next one, yeah, after this. I just really want to do this one today. Yeah, memoirs and the Golden one would be after this, yeah. Very soon it will be Tanabata. A familiar event marked by the hanging of pieces of paper with wishes written on them, on bamboo branches. It is not often that such wishes are granted, but sometimes spirits and souls of the dead, or even demons and witches, will find the wishes by chance and grant them. Wisher me Mario was supposed to write such a wish at school. There was plenty of paper, so students were allowed to use several pieces if they could think of enough wishes. At first, everyone was excited about writing a lot of them. But despite their youth, after writing 2 or 3 wishes, they have come to realize to their own surprise that they can only write trivial things, such as I want to be rich or I want to become such and such. However, unlike the other children, Mario thought that writing 1 wish was enough.
I wish that my mama would come home every day.
Oh God. Rosa was busy with work, and I'd spend the night there often. Sure. Sure she was. Just like a child should. Maria understood that it was just part of her mother's job. But that didn't mean she didn't feel lonely. So she wrote down her simple wish about her mother coming home every day. By the way, have you ever thought about who grants the wishes written on these pieces of paper? There are several theories. The Tanabata legend and the various ancient Japanese gods. But all of those are in fact false. What grants the wish is that which is chosen closest to the person who wrote it. It can be the so-called guardian spirits or ancestors of the person. For those without a guardian spirit, it might be their parents or a close friend. And to Maria, that witch was even closer to her than her mother. So in Maria's dreams on the night of the Tanabata, Beato accepted the wish that the girl had entrusted to that piece of paper and read it.
Maria. Maria.
Maria. Maria.
わらわの声が聞こえるか?
Can you hear me?
It's Beatrice! Beatrice came to Maria in a dream!
Indeed.
そなたは今日、七夕の願い事を笹に吊るしたであろう。
Today you got Tanabata wish on some bamboo, did you not?
その願い事は、わらわに届いたぞ。
That wish has reached me.
だからこうして
And
願い事を叶えにそなたのところへやってきたのだ。
And I have come to grant it.
本当に Really? ベアトリーチェ、ありがとう Thank you, Beatrice!
さてと、それでだ。
Now, let us discuss your wish.
そなたの願いの母が毎日帰ってくるようにだが。
You have wished for your mother to come home every day.
本当にこれで良いのか?
But are you quite sure?
Yes! それだけで嬉しい Just that alone will make me happy.
Beatrice crossed her arms and mumbled to herself. It seemed as if she was considering turning Maria down, or thinking of how to best explain herself. When Maria saw Beato, whom she considered all-powerful, make such a face, she grew anxious.
Oh, ママが帰ってくるのは難しい願いなの?
Sorry.
Is having Mama come back home a difficult wish to grant?
いいや。
No.
はっきり言えばお茶の子さいさい。
Quite honestly,
そんなの全然難しくもない。
it's a piece of cake.
だがなマリ
But Maria,
よく考えよ。
consider it carefully.
そなたはただママが帰ってくるだけでいいのか？
Is her merely coming home actually enough?
わらわが魔法にてその願いを叶えれば。
Should your wish be granted,
明日より直ちに母は毎日帰宅するようになるだろう。
then from tomorrow on, your mother will return home every single day.
しかし帰宅はするな。機嫌が良いとは限らないぞ。
However, she may not always be in a good mood. Understand? Rosa was the CEO of a small business. So far, things had been going badly. And she was in a precarious financial situation every day. She was desperately trying to expand her business by clinging on to any order she could get, and using that to bring in more requests little by little. If Rosa would always come home in such a state, it wouldn't end well. In order for Rosa's company to achieve financial security overnight, she'd have to make the wish herself and make it clear exactly what the magic should be used to change. So even if the magic from Maria's wish could reach Rosa, it would not extend to Rosa's company. In short, if Maria's wish was to be granted with the way she phrased it, Rosa would either lose her job or her entire company would collapse. That likely wasn't something Maria actually wanted. Hence, Beato visited Maria in her dream to inquire about her true desires.
だからマリ
So, Maria,
ア、本当の願いを聞こ
make your true wish heard.
う。そなたの願いは母がただ帰ってくることではあるまい？
Your mother merely coming home is not quite enough for you, is it?
No. ママが毎日帰ってくるだけじゃ。Just having Mama come home every day is ダメ。Not enough.
そうだ。
Indeed.
その続きこそがそなたの本当の願いなのだ。
Your real wish comes after. The wish of her mother coming home was only the beginning. Her true desires weren't quite so abstract. Normally, if the ones granting the wish were mischievous, they are granted no matter how abstract it was. But Beata was Maria's close friend. And would never play such a trick on her. Because she knew that Maria's true wish wasn't quite so simple.
ママが帰ってきて、それから
Your mother shall return home. And so I ask, what next?
ママはいつも早く帰ってきて、マリアと一緒にお夕飯の準備をするの。Mama will always come home early and make dinner with Maria.
それから
What next?
二人で楽しくお話ししながら、じゃがいもの皮を剥いたり、お皿を並べたりするの。We'll have been talking together, peeling potatoes and sitting your dishes.
それから
Then,
そして二人でテレビを見ながら Then we'll watch TV together. 面白い番組で楽しく笑いながら美味しくご飯を食べるの。Laughing on some pretty show and enjoying our delicious meal. そしたらきっと楽しい。That will be so much fun. きっと幸せ。 sure that would make me happy.
She didn't just want her mother to come home every day. The happiness painted in Maria's mind continued far beyond that. It was a wonderful time just to imagine. Two people cooking a meal and enjoying it together, while having some small talk. Maria had never once asked Rosa to eat out. Just eating at the table with her mother was more than enough. It made her happy whenever it happened, but it was a very rare occurrence. Maria simply wanted to have that every day. The glimpse of that dream world made Beato smile warmly. Maria was impatient to have her wish be granted, but Beato merely giggled and spoke yet again. What next?
Huh?
I'd imagine your dream extends beyond a mere dinner. So for me to consider granting your wish, I need to have more of it. You two will enjoy a nice dinner together. What next?
Huh?
It was only natural. Fun meals between mother and daughter were but a part of a healthy family lifestyle.
I'll make tea for Mama. As we drink our delicious tea together, we'll watch TV. Then I'll heat up the bath and we'll eat together. I'll even put in one of those bubble-filled bath bombs that Mama loves. Then we'll splash around having fun in the tub and make even more bubbles. That she'll kiss me goodnight, get things ready for tomorrow, and go to sleep. Then the sun will rise. I'll wake up early and wake Mama up if she oversleeps.
Yeah, there's Sakutaro.
Good morning, Sakutaro. Yes, I know. I'll bring Mama something to drink. I'll bring her some original blend vegetable juice in a chilled cup. As she drinks it right after waking up, she'll feel refreshed and smile. Have her blend the toaster and cover with rose-flavored jam.
Oh.
Then I'll wait for the morning paper and sit on Mama's chair. Alright, I'll be back soon, Sakutaro.
Oh.
After a morning like this, I'll be happy all day long at school. School is fun too. And happy winning the rabbit fan is always happy as well. They make a real ruckus in my pocket. I'm sure Mama will be successful at work. I'm sure that she'll come back home in a good mood. I'm sure that you'll always be happy every day.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I could hear a monotonous buzzing electronic noise. It was coming from my alarm clock. I must have been dreaming. I wish that Mama would come home every day. small piece of bamboo with a piece of paper hanging from it was beside my pillow. I wonder if that's why I had such a strange dream. Beatrice came from Yokonjima, and clearly she knew a world I couldn't even see when I was reading that wish of mine down. A world in which my mama would simply come home every day has extended more and more into infinity. No, that's not all. Until a second ago, I really was in that world. I'm sure that just for the smallest of moments, Beatrice granted my wish for me using her magic.
Oh god. Love this animation.
She has endlessly expanded my unambitious wish. After all, Beatrice is the endless witch. If the world she showed me was made by magic, as a witch apprentice, I should be able to create it myself. That happy dream, which was so faint that the alarm had drawn me away from it, I should be able to make it into something real.
As a witch apprentice, Maria knew how to make that magic a reality.
Oh! By believing.
Yes. Belief is what grants magic its power. And thus Maria strongly believed that it wasn't a dream, but something that actually came true.
What's the first thing I should do on this happy morning?
Oh.
That's right. First I'll wake Mama up. I'll bring her a cup of chilled vegetable juice.
Maria jumped out of bed and headed for the kitchen. She wanted to let her mother know that this was the start of a happy morning, which would lead to happy days today and tomorrow.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you for making my Tanabata wish come true.
The end. Or is it? Oh boy. The heck was that? Yay, it's these two again! God, you two! I've missed you so much! I haven't seen you in so long! It seems like Beato never actually granted her wish. Ferncastle shrugged mockingly. Lambda Delta, who had been chuckling at how sweet the story had been, looked annoyed at this wet blanket response. Beatrice noticed Bird's lack of understanding. That's untrue. I've woven a fragment of the world of Maria's desires and given her a key to unlock it. The only thing Maria has to do now is unlock the door. Even if you made her happy. She made her wish come true herself. You did nothing. Lady D! It's been forever!
Bird, you're acting like a spoiled child. There is no way for a wish to be granted unless there's a strong desire for it to come true. Come on. This is basic bitch witch stuff.
Humans with a will that strong will eventually grant the wish themselves, regardless of whether a witch grants it or not.
魔女の出番なんてない。
There's no point in witches getting involved at all.
意志弱き願いなど叶える気にもならぬではないか。
You see, I wouldn't want to grant someone's wish if they weren't certain about it.
Hell yeah, me too. Give me 5. まったくよ。Exactly. 絶対の意志にこそ絶対の未来が宿るのよ。Certainty and willpower creates an absolutely certain future. その意志の強さに惚れて、私たちは思わず力を貸しちゃうわけでしょ。Her infatuation with the strength of that will leads us just unconsciously lend them our power, alright?
まったく。
Yes, precisely.
思わず力を貸したくなるような豪快な願いでなくては面白みもないというものよ。
It wouldn't be interesting if the wish weren't bold enough to make us unconsciously want to lend our power.
レルンは人の努力とか願いの強さとかそういうものをちょっとないがしろにしすぎ。 Burn! You take people's efforts and the strength of their wishes a little too lightly.
Beato and Lambda kept complaining about Burn's utter lack of comprehension. No.
ならラムダならどんな感じで願い事を叶えてあげるわけ？
Oh, that was Burncast. Oh. Then, Lambda, how would you grant a wish?
あんたにも七夕に誰かの願いを叶えた経験が？
Have you also granted someone's wish on this Tanabata?
ほう。
Oh.
いかがかラムダデルタ卿。
What say you, Lady Lambda Delta?
人間に慕われることも多いそなたなら願いの叶え方もなかなかどうにっていそうなものだが。
I believe that one so beloved by humans should be an expert in granting wishes.
私？ Me? 私はシンプルよ。I keep it simple. せいぜいしっかり頑張りなさいと等しく公平に応援するだけよ。I just encourage everyone to give it their all, fairly and equally. That's me, the great Lammy D, the ultimate egalitarian.
Lambda Delta is the witch of certainty. She praises the willpower to certainly succeed until the very end. Despite possessing both innocence and cruelty, she also has a more tender side with regards to people's passion.
私への願い事で一番多いのは大金持ちになりたいとか。The most common wishes I get are, I want to be super rich. 出世したいとか。Or even, I want a promotion. 現在の地位を盤石にしたいとか。Or most boringly, I want to solidify my current position. そんなのばっかりだわ。You know, shit like that.
先ほどそなたは等しく公平に応援すると言ったが、そのずうずうしい願いをすべて叶えるのか？
Just now, you said that you fairly and equally encourage everyone. But do you really grant such impudent wishes for everyone?
まさか。That's a good one. Of course not. 全部等しく叶えないわ。I avoid granting those wishes to everyone in equal measure. See? Everything's equal. でもその代わり、その願いを実現するまで努力を怠らない子を私は等しく最後まで見守るわ。But in exchange, I watch over the ones who don't slack off in their efforts until their wish is realized. Also in equal measure.
Lambda will never smile upon humans who wish to become super rich, but do nothing to work towards that goal. Also, she will never grant success to those who only try to become super rich once. What Lambda Delta bestows is not the fulfillment of the wish, but the power needed to achieve it.
大金持ちになりたいって願いはね、実は誰でも叶えられるのよ。Anyone can actually grant the wish if I want to become super rich. You know? もちろん、しかるべき努力でね。I mean, obviously it would take some effort. 私はその努力の結実を保証するの。What I guarantee is that the effort will not go to waste.
ただし、それが叶うのに必要な努力の量をあんたは保証してないわね。
It truly is, Beatrice. However, you make no guarantees about the necessary amount of effort, huh?
Yeah.
なるほど。
I see.
努力の結果をいつか叶えはするが、それがいつとは約束しないわけか。
Effort will eventually bring fruit, but you can't promise when.
なかなか意地の悪いご人よ。
You are quite cruel.
そう？ Right! いつか必ず叶うことの保証ってどれだけ尊い価値があると思って？ You don't think the guarantee that your efforts will bring fruit is worth much? 私はね、努力をする人が好き。You see, I like hard-working people. そのために全てを投げ出し、終わらぬ苦行に身を投じれる人が好きなの。I love people who threw away everything for their goal and were capable of abandoning themselves to unending self-torment to achieve it.
Those who make their wishes to Lambda Delta must strongly believe that those wishes will be granted eventually. Without the strength of heart, the wishes would never reach Lambda Delta and would never be granted the help of the magic of certainty. And to those people who certainly never give up, do not forget the meaning of hard work. It's blasphemous to all their hard work to have their wishes simply be granted by another person. That's why Lambda Delta would never dirty their precious hard work. All she promises is that certain determination will lead to certain success. And just that is enough. Hey, you know what I mean? Oh my god! They're just straight up... Wow! Okay! That's new! What? They're just straight up showing a CG background of Hinamizawa. Oh my god! What? Your wish will certainly be granted. No matter what it is. Someday. Even if you're just a child who wishes to become a god. Oh my god! Oh. So that is the magic of certainty.
It's certainty.
我が無限の魔法に勝るとも劣らぬ見事な力よ。
A magnificent power that is in no way inferior to my own endless magic.
勝りまくりでしょうが。Yeah, right. It's way better. あんたはグー。You're rock. 私はパー。I'm paper. それどころか2回転のひねりまで入った超パーなんだから。Double twisted super thick super paper.
2回転ってことはくるくるってわけね。
That just means you're a wound-up idiot.
あんたにぴったりよ。
Well, I suppose that fits.
でしょ Right, I know, yeah, like seriously?
With Lambda being the only one who didn't get it. The three witches cackled together.
ベルンカステル教など奇跡を司る魔女ではないか。
Lady Berncastle, are you not the witch who controls miracles?
そなたに願いを叶えてもらいたい人間など、
Oh, another
星の
typo.
数ほどもおりそうなものだがな。
There must be as many humans who want you to grant a wish as there are stars in the sky.
奇跡だもんね。Yeah, miracles. Miracles さ。叶うはずのないものが叶う。Those are not something that should ever be granted. 野心は人一倍のくせに努力を嫌うゲテンどもが好みそうだわ。Though I imagine the overly ambitious yet lazy people would love that. People who just wait for circumstances to change.
And don't even bother asking their freaking ghost friend to follow the victim of a murder. Ouch. Wow. You really went there. Yeah, you bet I did.
でもダメよ。
But that's no good at all!
素敵なベルにはそんな汚らわしい願い事なんてふさわしくないもん。
Those filthy wishes are unfitting for someone as wonderful as you, Burn! Aww.
そんな連中の願い事に見向きするくらいなら私の願い事から叶えなさいよ、ベル。
Oh, before you look at wishes of people like that, grant my wish first, Birdie Burns!
暑苦しいわね。話しなさいよ。
Let go of my ass. You're too warm.
奇跡はね。起きないから奇跡って言うのよ。
Miracles are called miracles because they don't happen.
私が願いを叶えるなんて甘いことをすること自体が奇跡。
To me, granting a wish is itself in itself a miracle.
魔女に人の情など坂にもならぬが。
Human passions don't generally amount to much to us witches.
そなたにはひとかけらもないようであるな。
But it seems they don't amount to anything at all to you.
残虐で名を轟かすあんたに言われたくないの？
I don't want to hear that from someone who made a name for herself through endless cruelty. Not much I can say against that.
わらわも柄にもなく甘やかしすぎた。
I may have been too uncharacteristically soft today. But hey, it's Maria. If I'm gonna be soft to somebody, it's gonna be her.
ベアとはマリアにやたらと甘いからね。
Ah, well, that is true. You are really easygoing when it comes to Maria, Beato.
その甘さをもう少しマリア以外にも分配するといいわよ。
You should spread it around to more people besides Maria.
まるで沈殿しちゃったお砂糖みたい。
You're like sugar leftovers.
納得だわ。
Exactly.
ベアトだけじゃない。
It's not just Beato either.
ラムダも。
You too have been easygoing today, Lambda.
今日のあんたたちは少し甘さが過ぎるわ。
Both of you are a little too sweet for my liking today.
コーヒーには砂糖よりも梅干しが似合うというのよ。
Dried plums go better with tea than sugar.
ベル、
Burn!
せっかくの七夕よ。
Come on! Come on! It's not like Chanabata comes every day, right?
あんたも一つくらい願いを叶えてきなさいよ。
Can't you go and grant at least one wish? Oh. You want me to grant one wish, eh? Yeah, come on! Really? Sure! Okay.
いやよ。
Not! With a fed up look on her face, Fern disappeared. She had lost her humanity over 1,000 years. She no longer enjoyed sweet and heartwarming stories. Beatrice laughed coldly as though this was the way a witch was supposed to be. In her expression, no longer was there any of the warmth that had woven Maria's happiness. Ta-ta. You're telling me to grant at least one wish because it's Tanabata. I am a witch. The Witch of Miracles. No matter the effort, luck, or enthusiasm, I know the miracle never happened. Oh yeah, that's definitely purposeful. Precisely because I know that. I am the Witch of Miracles. So what kind of a wish must I grant? So what if it's Tanabata? They're just being a little too festive. Expanding a happy dream into infinity. Efforts which would certainly bring fruit. All of this is so sickening that I'm about to vomit. Blah! How disgusting. Oh. You think so too? Well then. Allow me to demonstrate how witches must truly grant wishes. Because you're obviously looking forward to that. Little Angie took a small piece of paper at school and wrote, "I wish for my family to come home," on it. Hung it on a bamboo branch and fastened that to her bedpost. Then she clapped, made her wish again, so that it would come true. Thanks to her strong wish, Byrne has appeared to her in a land of illusions at the world of sleep.
Konnichiwa, Angie.
Hello, Angie.
それがあなたの願い?
So, this is your wish. Oh, I'm surprised they're not using the baby Angie sprite from episode 8. Yeah.
あなたは誰?
Who are you?
名乗らないわ。
Oh, I'm not gonna tell you my name. Then things will get all wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
ここは引いて消える潮のようなまどろみの世界。
This is the world of slumber. A world like the receding tide.
私の名を聞いたところで、あなたの記憶には残らない。
Should I tell you my name? You'll just forget it anyway.
それで、あなたの願いだけれど。
Well then, your wish.
私が奇跡を起こして、それを叶えてあげてもいいわ。
I wouldn't mind causing a miracle and granting your wish.
本当?
Really?
本当に?
Really?
ええ、
Yes.
本当よ。
Really?
でも魔法は、あなたがそれを強く願って、努力しなくちゃ叶わないの。
However, magic is something that will not be granted unless you wish for it strongly and work hard for it.
そういうもんだそうよ。ラムダは言うよ。
Lambda explained the basics to me.
めんどくさいわ。
Honestly, such a pain. Jeez. Angie could not have surprised seeing this witch intrude her dream and claim that she would grant her wish. However, she felt the witch wanted something in exchange for the miracle. But Angie decided that she would do anything if her family would come back home. Oh God!
何でも努力しますから、魔女様。
I'll work as hard as you want me to, Miss Witch.
私の願いを聞き届けてください。
Please grant my wish.
わかったわ。
Very well.
私の言うことを一日も欠かさずに続けることができて。
Damn. Oh my God. This is just absolutely painful. If you follow my instructions every single day.
本当にその願いを叶えたいという気持ちが天に届いたなら。
If your desire for that wish to be truly granted reaches the heavens.
その時、私は必ずあなたのところに再び訪れて、
I will certainly visit you again and grant it. But I won't say when that shall be. It could be a year, it could be 5, or even 10 or more. Or maybe even 1998. What the hell? Just shouting out random years. In that regard, I guess I'm about the same as Lambda. I will grant it in the end. So nothing else matters. Right? Then, Miss Witch, what should I do?
あなたは今日仮の親である後宮エヴァに母の代わりだと思って何でも頼っていいと言われたでしょ
Today, your adoptive mother, Ushiramiya Eva, has told you to consider her a replacement for your mother, and that you could count on her for anything at all, didn't she?
Hi.
Yeah? Eva did say that to Angie today. As an aunt and niece, we are connected. But we are also connected in that I have lost my child and you have lost your parents. We cannot trick ourselves into thinking of each other as replacements for our lost family. Even so, I consider you my own daughter. So please allow me to ask you to consider myself your mother and count on me for anything you might need. After saying that, Eva hugged Angie. This is just... wow. Absolutely diabolical. Seriously. To little Angie, Mom was Mom and Eva definitely wasn't. However, she understood that the meaning of those words and the affection verging on sorrow. But as would be expected from a child her age, she needed some time to accept this. Hey, yes. Aunt Eva did say that. If you truly... from the bottom of your heart, wish for your real mother to return. Then you must never let anyone else take her place. If her place in your heart is taken by someone else, she will never come back home. To little Angie, that seemed very logical. If she accepted someone who wasn't her mother as her mother, her real mother would have no home to return to. All right. What do you say? Let's shake on it. That's important for your real mother, is it not? Yeah? Miss Witch. Aunt Eva is just Aunt Eva. I will never call her my mother. Oh, sorry. Wonderful. But Aunt Eva also told you something else, did she not? Right now, we cannot forget the scars on our hearts, and together we have forgotten how to smile. However, I believe this would surely sadden my child and your parents. Wouldn't it be alright if we could remember how to smile, if only a little bit at a time? course, we can't do this right away. We have to remember our forgotten smiles bit by bit. That's why I decided that from today on, I'll try my best to practice smiling. That's weird, isn't it? Angie-chan, if you ever remember how to smile, please show me too. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! I feel that if we do that, we'll be able to remember how to smile even better. I should have been reading that in Eva's voice, but goddamn it. Okay. Yes. Auntie Eva definitely said that.
あなたにとって家族が帰ってきてほしい願いが天にも届くほどに悲痛であるならば
If you want your family to come back, your pain and sorrow must be strong enough to lift that wish to the heavens. Let the hate flow through you.
あなたはその日まで笑顔を見せてはダメよ
Until that day, you must not smile even once.
笑顔を見せてはダメ
Not even once.
ええそうよ
Exactamundo.
私はあなたを見守ってるわ
I'll be watching over you to make sure you keep your end of the deal.
もしもあなたが笑顔を浮かべるようなことが一度でもあったなら
If it seems like a smile is going to come up on your face, even once.
もう家族なんて帰ってこなくてもいいという気持ちの表れだと受け
Jesus
取る
Christ! I'll consider that a sign that you no longer care about your family coming back.
永遠に帰ってくる奇跡など起こさないと約束してあげるわ
I promise you that in that case, they will never return. This is... God! I don't want that!
絶対に笑いません
I will never smile again!
父さんとお母さんとお兄ちゃんが帰ってくるまで賢者は絶対に笑いません
Not until Dad, Mom, and Oni-chan come home!
幸せを感じてもダメ
God. You must never feel happiness.
喜びを感じてもダメ
You must never experience joy.
家族を失った嘆きを永遠に忘れてはダメよ
You must never forget the sorrow of losing your family.
そしてそれを忘れさせようとしたりごまかそうとしたりする悪魔から自らを遠ざけなさい
And you must stay away from the demon who will try to make you forget that. Will try and deceive you.
後ろ宮エヴァは甘い言葉であなたのその意志をくじこうと何度も試みるでしょう
Jesus Christ. Ushiramiya Eva will try and crush their resolve many times with her sweet words.
でもそれを決して聞いてはダメよ
But you must never listen to them. Alright?
エヴァもあなたから家族を永遠に奪おうとする悪魔なのよ
Eva is a demon and will try and steal away your family for all eternity. There's that fucking phrase. What's so funny? Nothing. I was just thinking of a joke that my friend told me.
いや実際奪ったわけだけど
No, she actually did steal them away.
くじけたりしません
My resolve won't break!
願いが叶うまで絶対にエヴァおばさんの言うことは聞きませんから
Until my wish comes true, I will certainly not listen to Auntie Eva's words.
だから願いを叶えてください魔女様
Please grant my wish, Miss Witch.
ええ
Fine, if you insist.
それをしっかりずっと永遠に守り続けることができたなら
As long as you continue to keep your promise.
最後に
Firmly and forever.
私は必ずあなたの前に現れ願いを叶えてあげるわ
Then in the end, I will definitely appear before you and grant your wish.
大丈夫よ
It's alright.
私はあなたのその高潔な意志を
I will
決してないがしろにしない
I will definitely not ignore your pure-hearted resolve. God. What? This is... Deep blue tear. Oh, God. The next morning, Yoshimiya and Angie clearly announced it to Eva. Those words were a spell that would bring forth the miracle of her family coming home. Oh, God! They were also a curse that the cruel witch had made her say. On that day, those words have forever stolen the smiles from both Eva and Angie. Oh, yeah, no. Totally Burncastle. Yeah. The greatest way to lie to people is to say the truth creatively.
魔女にはこんな七夕の方が素敵じゃない
Isn't this kind of Tanabata much more pleasant for a witch? This won't get boring.
もうしばらく程度には
Not for a while. These kinds of fragments exist. But what do you think? All of you who like these kinds of ill-natured stories would much prefer something this bitter, right? Will this do, Beato? All I really did was make it a tale more suited to my role. Oh my god. Wow. And that was Burncastle talking. Wow. God. This has to be like... That has to be the most important Tsubasa. By far. Like, there's a bunch of non-canon ones, but like... This is clearly one of the canon ones, and... Just... Wow! So yeah, we're gonna do Memoirs of Lambda Delta next, and we'll see what we have time for. If we have time, we'll do the Goten one afterward. But like, holy shit, dude! Oh my god! Even reading it the second time, it's just like still just Umineko, man. Umin fucking Neko. There's nothing else like it.
Now time for the Lammy D show. It's the Lamb show. Time for me. I'm Lammy. It's the Lamb show. And I got lots of good guests. In gratitude for the water from the other day. Relevant fragments included. Boredom's poison for us. To relieve it somewhat, I grant the desires of humans sometimes. I will grant you one wish.
Yeah, this is very thematic to the one we just saw.
Ah, that sounds so bittersweet. These words alone could replace sugar for tea for 7 friggin' years. Those who hear those words from me get to enjoy their bittersweetness as well. Of course, I also enjoy it. Here are the kinds of wishes they come up with. After all, it can happen that I'll end up meeting a new friend. Unfortunately, my expectations always end up being betrayed! That girl told me that expectations are similar to tea leaves. You can't make tea without them. It's just hot water. That's why any world must have an approximate amount of expectations, hopes, and dreams. There's a fitting example for her. If there's too many tea leaves, the tea is even more disgusting to drink than raw hot water. Seriously. That's why I use a proper quantity. The amount she taught me. Or maybe just a skosh less. I can't drink tea that's too bitter, so I don't add a lot of tea leaves. Can I really wish for anything? What's the catch? I'm sick and tired of such boring doubts. So, in secret, I turn an hourglass upside down. I get this. If the stupid human can't come up with even a single wish in 5 minutes, they're not good enough to turn into tea. So, if the hourglass runs out, time out, goodbye, bye-bye. Here's one of the most annoying wishes that I encounter often. I want you to grant the number of wishes you can grant. Oh, ha ha! You're such a fucking genius to think of that. No one has ever said that to me. They try to increase the affinity of 1 to infinity this way. Could it be that these stupid people somehow feel a sense of superiority in that, as if they approach creators? However, I get the exact opposite impression from this. I will grant you 1 wish, and 1 wish alone is enough to create an entire fucking universe! Allow me to explain. You might only have 1 wish, but that doesn't mean you have to wish for a single countable thing. So when they start counting things, it becomes obvious that the miracles they're thinking of are worthless. What kind of boring-ass things will a person like that wish for, even if they had 100 wishes? People like that are worthless! It's the same thing as with tea. If you refuse the same tea leaves 100 times over, it's obvious that the tea will become ever more diluted and unappetizing. So if someone makes this kind of a boring-ass wish, I'd simply tell them, "Yep, alright, I'll grant your wish. See you later." And then guess this, I disappear, and then they just keep waiting for me to come back to give various different wishes, and then they die without even one of them being granted! Oh my god, that's too... Oh my god, oh, that provides just some pretty much good entertainment. Like, I just like fast forward to the future and watch them on their deathbed. It's like, oh no, what about that witch I saw? Was she just a hallucination? Oh my god, and they die in despair. Oh, it's too funny. Oh my god. Idiots. After that, the next typical wish is, I want a lot of money. Obviously, this answer is also boring. What's so great about money? Do they think that a traveler in the desert searching for hunger and thirst would jump in happiness seeing a wad of bills? That they couldn't even eat or drink?
This kind of narrow freedom is only useful when the framework known as the currency system. The narrow-mindedness of such desires. It's truly disappointing. Would a 25-cent coin be useful for a Japanese vending machine? Could you spend 100 yen in a street stall in Africa? When grieving for a loved one, would money help you fully forget them? How about love? And what happiness? Desires like these disappoint me too. I could just say, don't worry, you're already loved. You can already be happy. And that would make their wish come true. So fraggin' stupid. Love and happiness are similar to air. They fill the world, but you don't notice them at all. As if they're not even there. So, people wishing for such obvious things disappoint me. And, can I say something else? Love and happiness are as varied as people themselves. Love and happiness are just generic terms for an incredibly wide variety of different phenomena. These boring-ass people are unable to explain their version of love and happiness without resorting to such abstract terms. Fucking platitudes. So no matter how many decades they live, they won't actually ever get to feel neither love nor happiness. Idiots! Oh my god! I want to never lose to anyone. At first, that wish interested me slightly, but then I decided that to anyone is just too much to ask for.
Look at this fucking graphics.
You cannot win if there's nobody to fight against.
That's insane, no way. Wow.
So, as soon as such people would defeat their enemies, they'd lose their will to live. Even though I could create and destroy entire universes for them, why do people's wishes never cross the limits imposed by human society? This is why they are humans, and not witches. Among all these boring-ass people, I once met a girl who seemed to have potential. She looked familiar somehow. I couldn't quite place it, but oh well. After spending a little while pondering, she said,
Please guarantee that my efforts will certainly not be in vain.
huh?
何それ
What?
この私が願い事を叶えてあげるというのに自分でそれを叶えるというの
No. Let me get this straight. I'm telling you that I can grant you any wish. Any wish at all. But you want to do it yourself.
そのための保証
You want me to guarantee that you'll succeed.
わけわかんない
What's the point? Sometimes people pretend to be philosophers and wish for things that they themselves do not understand. She must be one of those types, or so I thought. Her efforts were not limited by numbers. She was asking for something similar to those who want infinite wishes. But deep inside her eyes, I saw something different from what I see in other people with this kind of a wish. Even though the sand in the hourglass ran out, I decided to listen to her story a bit longer.
私に願えば努力などなく何でも今すぐ叶えてあげると言ってるの
I'm telling you, you can wish for anything, literally anything, and I will grant it instantly. You don't have to put forward any effort at all. Totally like that.
まあ一つだけだけどね。
Any wish at all is fine. But you do only get one.
私の願い事は
I
一
told
つと
you.
か二つとかそういうものじゃないからです。
My wishes can't be counted. By the way, one thing that was found out earlier, the voice that's talking right now is a combination of the voice actors for Takano and Little Takano. So it's like adult and child Takano talking at the same time, so it's definitely her.
叶えたい夢の数がいくつもいくつもあるということ？
Wait. You mean you want me to grant a large number of wishes?
欲張りな子ね。
How greedy of you.
違います。
No,
私の至るべき到達点は
I
た
have
った一つです。
a single goal.
でもそこへ至る道は複雑でいくつもの峠を経るでしょう。
But the path to it is complicated, and many difficulties will arise on my way.
きっと数えきれないくらいたくさん。
Infinitely many.
でも私はたった一つの到達点を誤ることなく目指し必ずたどり着いてみせるでしょう。
However, I believe that I can forge my path to my single goal without making any mistakes, and that I will certainly reach it.
Oh, you said the magic word. Certainly reach the goal. I like the cut of your chin, Miss whatchamacookabaha. Let me just see what your name is. Miyoko Tanashi. That sounds familiar. Did you? You're way too young to be a hostess at a bar in some kind of alternate reality Tokyo. Huh. Oh well. I was sure I knew you. That's not a wish anymore. Humans call this determination. And witches call it fate. Wishes that certainly come true don't exactly fit the term determination. This is perhaps called predestination. But that's not something humans are capable of creating. I saw the radiance of a soul close to mine at that time. She wanted just a single thing. I wish that she would certainly be able to grant herself predestination. Make me believe in my own power. I thought this was super interesting. I decided I could grant this wish. But before I did, I thought I would double check just in case. How to know the actual goal of her predestination? That is, that she would certainly reach, as she claims. Perhaps she hasn't surpassed the human level just yet. Perhaps she is just another boring person. But I've already gathered the tea leaves, so what the hey? I was certain that she would live up to my expectations.
教えなさいよ。
Tell me, Hotshot,
あなたの本当の願いは何？
what do you truly wish for?
あなたが絶対に叶えるという約束された運命とは何？
What do you want your fate to be?
私は神になります。
I will become a god.
That one word! It was enough to make me certain! Alright! Lucky Miss Tanashi! Do-do-do-do-do-do! Ha-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo! I grant you my power of certainty, yes-a-roo! Da-da-da-da-da! I granted her wish. I guaranteed that her efforts would not be in vain. Congratulations! You get the power of certainty on your side. With the literal power of God in anime, you cannot lose. In the name of Lemmy D! I guaranteed that our efforts would not be in vain. Her determination, to me, is already as good as fate. And to her, my guarantee has become fate as well. That's why everything she experiences from now on will be fate. But her fate actually has a weak point. Her determination is the root of her wish. So if she loses that, everything goes kaput. And besides, I did guarantee that her efforts won't be in vain. But I never specified just how much effort she would have to put forth. So it could take her an eternity. Unless she gives up, of course. Well, anyway.
Make me a god.
That kind of an honest wish would have gotten a perfect score from me. On the other hand, if I were to immediately turn him into a god, their spirit would just fizzle out. A human needs to go slow burn. Gradually get used to the pressure of being almighty. Make short steps with their efforts. Perhaps our world is like an endless stepladder going down into a bottomless pit. You could go down slowly and cowardly, or you could hurry down to where the end is. But if you make a misstep, you'll forever fall into the bottomless hell below. In a way, she was correct in taking the careful route. You see, it was just a little disappointing just how careful she was. So I wanted her to hurry down to the depths I found myself in. That girl worked very hard. But I think I overestimated her after all. Unfortunately, she was far from reaching the world I hoped for. She refused! Can you believe it? She fucking refused! Just dropped the ball in the fourth quarter. Way to go. But that's okay. Since she created a new witch and sent her to me, and I got my precious Boiny Beans. After that, I drifted through countless worlds for quite some time. Sometimes I found the humans that seemed interesting, so I asked them the same question. But I haven't met anyone who would ask for a wish that would surpass that of that girl. That is, until I met that kid.
Please, turn me into a witch.
Wow! How direct! Yes? Those are the words I always wanted to hear! But again, I decided to double check. A witch? Oh! Do you want to fly through the skies on a broom?
それともポケットに入れたビスケットを2つに増やしてみたいのかしら
Or perhaps duplicate biscuits inside of your pocket.
Of course, I would be capable of that. Once I became a witch, I'll be able to do anything I want to. And now, there's nothing I cannot do. Because I'm already a witch.
I remember that their eyes had the exact same radiance as the eyes of the little girl I missed so much. I felt the aroma of sweet tea leaves that I haven't felt for almost 1,000 years now. That's right. And the same as that girl. This person will grant, create, accomplish everything on their own. Their strong eyes had predestination in them. You have the will of D, Lammy D. But even that little girl has stated that she's moving towards her goal. Or has this person boldly proclaimed that they have already reached it? What the hell? They caught my interest. Wait a minute. Are you saying you're already a witch? Are you implying that you've reached the same level as me? The witch of certainty who bears the title of lady? Know your place, you puny human.
Yes, I'm already a witch. I need but one thing. To be acknowledged and recognized as such by another witch.
Now this witch is pretty much the same as that of the little girl. Oh, how brave. I see. If you're given the title by another witch, it becomes impossible to deny, yeah. But tell me this. Creators remain creators even if they aren't acknowledged or recognized by anybody. Witches are the same. Whether or not I recognize you, it should remain a witch anyway. Right?
Yes. I've already started to surpass human limits. You could say that I'm already a higher being than any human. But I need my superiority to be accepted by someone who is of an even higher rank than I am.
A human could tell you that you surpassed her levels. But only a witch could tell you if you reached hers. Is that what you mean?
Indeed. I'm aware that I have transcended the human world, and I've entered a world above that as a witch. I would like you as another witch to acknowledge that.
You mean to become a witch, you need the recommendation of another one. Listen, I don't work in HR. I don't know this kind of thing, but if you say so. That's very interesting, but who would acknowledge the very first witch?
Perhaps humans themselves granted the title of a witch to some being that surpassed them.
So then even if I don't recognize you, you're already a witch. Hello?
Yes, I'm already a witch. And so I need acknowledgement of a witch on a higher level than me. G-Chan, welcome to the stream!
I feel like I'd be deceived with torturous sophisms. What if I refuse?
Then I will force you to acknowledge me. Not even you will be able to deny that I'm a witch.
I wonder what kind of a compendium a human could create. Could I take a look?
Yeah, the flood hasn't gotten to me yet. I'm actually using the 4G because our internet has been taken down, and thank God that we still have power. I know that people on our street don't have power because the flooding has been pretty bad. So this stream could actually cut out at any time if we lose power. Although maybe it might not because it's a laptop.
Could I take a look?
The aroma of sweet tea that surrounded
The aroma of sweet tea that surrounded this person reminded me of chirping birds in spring. After an extremely long journey,
another typo there.
I realized that I met a resilient witch, the kind that I haven't seen for a long time. I plunged myself into studying the formulas of their magic compendium. And thanks to bizarre explanations that only they themselves could give me, I understood that this person's magic was on levels far surpassing my own. Certainly they're still a bit clumsy. Their magical world is still incomplete. However, the formula for its creation is flawless and possesses endless possibilities. I mean, it'll probably take them a long time to learn to deal with this infinity, but... without any doubt, the door for them was already open.
That's true. Beato did start off with that willpower. Yeah, and by episode 3, she was less sure. It's because of Berncastle bringing in Angie as her ace in the hole. Like, if Berncastle didn't bring in Angie, like, I think, that would have been it, honestly.
And above everything, this witch has managed to create a compendium of magic in the human world. The more a witch seeks freedom and power, the more they are freed from any restrictions. What I mean by that is, of course, the restrictions imposed by the material world. In other words, they'll be steadily moving away from the world of humans, like me and other witches in my rank did. However, this witch has managed to do that while in the world of humans! What the hell, man? That is, they could step into our world in the human form! Holy baloney! And besides, their composition formula is extremely deep. It's as if they're flying down at the bottom of steps holding an umbrella that doubles as a parachute. Holy schnapps! Those same depths that I had to descend using a step ladder for 1,000 years, taking one step after another, and they're flying fast, seriously. Do you know how many times I had to watch frickin' Berncastle go through the motions every day playing in stupid club games? That chandelier was cathartic, man! Of course, there's always the danger of the umbrella breaking, in which case they'll fall into hell just like that. Because of their recklessness, because of my dislike for this type of humans combined with my interest for this new witch, I started to shed light on a world yet unknown to even me. I'd felt honored to taste tea that was this sweet. Now, here's something I thought of. I believe that all beings are placed somewhere between two extremes. The side that creates fate and the side that follows it. ones are the ones that follow. They're stupid, helpless, unable to create anything worthwhile. However, they have solid ground to stand on. This ground doesn't betray them, so they can live without fear of falling into hell. So the create's fate is the creators, the head honchos, the top bananas. The omniscient and almighty. But the fact that they can create anything and have no restrictions placed upon them means they also don't have the restriction of the ground under their feet. Beings that have no restrictions imposed upon them lose even the restriction of meaning. The very concept of life and death disappears for them, and they reach the limit of 0. Or else they fall, crumble, vanish, kaput, like mist. I think the witches belong somewhere in the middle. We create fate and play around with it, but we can't do anything. We have fun with that freedom, but we still accept certain limits and restrictions, giving us some footing so that we won't fall down. Those witches that aren't afraid of falling are much more powerful than I am, but they also risk dying. Will this person become a teacup that only is just a moment of the endless boredom of my 1,000-year journey? Or will they shine a light on depths that someone as cowardly as me could never reach? Will they become a witch that far surpasses who I am and show me an unknown new world? Well, I don't really care. I'm just in this for the shits and giggles. If we were to instead assume that I am not a traveler headed towards hell, but instead a disaster victim trying hardest not to drown, then for me this person is a splendid piece of wood to hold on to. Will they become my savior and take me into an unknown world? Or are they just another cup of tea to make my day more elegant? Very well! Do-do-do-do-do-do! You have the blessing of Lammy, don't you? Power of certainty is what I give to you. I have no complaints. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I recognize you as a witch! Beto, come on down! Upon the name of Lambda Delta, the Witch of Certainty! As long as your magical world remains certainly magical, I will continue being your guardian. There'll be ways to drink tea this delicious on my own. Time to call Bernie Burns. I have to call my friend. I have to surprise him with a wonderful tea party. Kitty cat emoji. Note.
Lambda Delta's signature. Oh my god. I remember just like last time, that is the longest sustained trying to do the Lambda Delta voice. Ouch, my throat. It's good practice at least. Oh my god. Jeez. Jeez. Okay, we do have time, and I know the Goda story is short, so that's the one we'll end for today on. Just right there. And then next time I guess we'll do some of the more non-canon ones, but I think yeah, we'll end on the Goda one for today. But first I gotta take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back. Alright, notes from a certain chef. Goda is employed as the sole chef of Rogunjima. I forgot what voice last time I gave Goda the same voice as Kraus. And I still think that follows, but I wonder. Let's see, because I have a lot of new voices since I first did Umineko. In this notebook, he recounts the ghost stories of the Ushimiya family mansion. So I'm trying to think of like what voice should I give Goda now? God, because since I've done Umineko, I've got a lot more guy voices than I had before, and girl voices too. But let's see. Like not Jacopo because he's like high class-ish. Yeah, I'm trying to think like because I know I'm gonna do Yukimasa for Renove. I'm pretty sure of that one, but I think I'll just because I think I refined the Kraus voice a bit more in my head earlier, so I think I'll give him the old Kraus voice that I used, and leave that exclusively for Goda, because I think I thought of a better Kraus voice. So yeah.
I am writing things down so that I can forget them. I hope that only I have to know about any of this. Since they're known as the Seven Izu Islands, I originally believed that the Izu Archipelago actually does consist of 7 islands, and nothing more than that. At first I was told that Rogunjima was a rather small island. However, my poor imagination drew me a picture of a tiny island with a single palm tree on it when I heard that. Like in Looney Tunes. Compared to that, Rogunjima was actually quite vast.
Look at this CG. That looks brand new. I don't think we had an airplane CG like this.
The coastline of the island was a little over 10 kilometers.
Oh my god, we even have for freaking customary system 6 miles. Huh.
The overall length of the island would be almost 3 kilometers. On a map it'll certainly look small, but when you take into account there's a private island, with only the mansion of the Ultramere family built there.
Yeah, I think this is new music too.
Its vastness becomes something unimaginable.
Oh god, look at these backgrounds. So nostalgic.
I often remember how the presence of the imposing mansion on the other side of the beautiful rose garden really surprised me when I first arrived here. Not even in my wildest dreams could I imagine that my life as a cook would lead me to a mansion of billionaires. That was like a manga or a fairy tale. In the first place, I was an unlucky person.
It's using the cast listing for episode 1. Thank you, Burncastle. That's why I didn't remember it, because it was only used in episode 1 and like once. Dang.
I worked at a restaurant in a well-known hotel, and it was a wonderful job full of both pride and tension. It was a place where wonderfully talented cooks competed with their skills.
Oh, thank you, Apparition.
The bonds between us were even stronger than our pride or any tradition. But everything collapsed when the head chef, who united everyone with his strong charisma, suddenly retired due to illness. For us cooks, our skills and pride mean everything, and the only people we can respect are cooks that surpass us. That's why, under this head chef's control, we all performed our work as one, no matter how impatient, inflexible, or young we were. So perhaps this was an inevitable consequence of the head chef suddenly retiring. We have split into several factions. We expected the most popular person in the kitchen to become the next head chef. He was highly valued for his achievements, skills, and leadership over the enthusiastic juniors. However, he was also strong-willed. He didn't get along very well with the hotel management. The management needed a cook who would show acceptable results within suitable budgets and deadlines, not someone who would produce an amazing result at the cost of ignoring those. This clash of priorities became a problem. The candidate that the management ended up choosing was an opportunist. He was more interested in showing his subservience to the management than actually making food. Instead of improving his cooking skill, he was only spending time and figuring out how to get a promotion. I wonder if any other businesses in the world choose who is promoted like this. Surely no others do, and it's strictly limited to this case. In the end, this man became the head chef. The person all of us want to see in that position instead ended up as his assistant. Of course. We couldn't accept this result, but we decided to keep working under these conditions for a while, to see how things turn out. However, the difference between him and his predecessor was immediately obvious, which caused the cooks to explode in frustration. Many did not approve of his method, that ignored their pride as cooks, and of course that included me. Before long, assistants and sympathizers both decided to force the management to negotiate by slapping them with our resignation letters. At this point, it didn't seem like we had any other choice. Back there, I was the youngest, if you can believe it, but I still wouldn't lose to anyone, neither in skill nor in pride. Thinking back on it, I didn't quite grasp the fact that I was not only a cook, but also an employee of the hotel. At first, the assistants weren't interested in such careless methods. Later, I understood. The young people like me were very enthusiastic about this chance at a revolt against the new head chef. But the end result was not what we expected. The management talked some of the assistants out of quitting, and they didn't join in our revolt. After that, the hotel decided to clear the kitchen of the remaining dissidents.
Yeah, seriously, I cannot imagine Goda as a young man. Like, seriously, to me, he's always just gonna be like this older dude.
They talked the most beautiful and skillful people out of resigning, and had purposely overlooked the attempt at a revolt. I didn't understand how they could do such a thing to us. But for the hotel, this was the obvious decision to make. We, the young ones, have been insulting our colleagues who decided not to participate. We called the assistants traitors and started planning a counterattack against them, but a cook is a cook because he cooks. Otherwise, he cannot make a living. Starting with the calmer ones, one by one, they quietly backed out of their uproar and disappeared after getting another job.
Goda has the same transformation as Daigo in Yakuza. Oh my god.
Only then did I realize just how inexperienced I was. The title of a former cook in a prestigious restaurant can be both a weapon and a burden. Finding a new job wasn't easy. I tried to find employment in restaurants and hotels on the same level, but all participants of this industry have strong horizontal bonds. Details of all the trouble we caused were already well known. I heard there was even some circulating letters that stated if they hired anyone who was involved, their relations would have to be reconsidered.
Another typo here.
There was nothing indicating that I could call myself a cook ever again. One day, suddenly, I got a call from a young man who sympathized with me and resigned at the same time I did. He told me that a certain multimillionaire was looking for a live-in cook. The pay wasn't bad at all, but I got the impression that working conditions were rather severe. The young man told me this to return a past favor. From what I understood, they were looking for a full-time and very skillful cook. However, very skillful cooks would usually already have a job that wouldn't leave them any free time. They would also have bonds of gratitude with their workplace, which means they never thoughtlessly resigned just because pay somewhere else was better. In other words, it was a perfect job offer for someone like myself.
Oh my god, Ji-chan, you're making... Oh, Beatrice! I need some dinner! Oh my god.
Working as a full-time cook on a remote island. Didn't sound bad. Besides, my financial situation didn't allow me to be picky anymore. Furthermore, such a high status would satisfy my youthful pride. Thus, I applied as a cook to the Ushimiya family. Ten more were gathered there beside me. If I recall correctly, I was the oldest person there. I thought I was still young, and being among a bunch of people younger than myself was awkward. But the young ones had a lot of inspiration. If they had more experience, they would probably become wonderful cooks. In terms of experience, I really had the upper hand here. Also, I was highly valued for my skills when serving the customers, which I learned with the previous head chef. The difference between a cook that never leaves the kitchen and a cook that brings food out to VIPs and even charts with them is obvious. That's why I felt I would get the job. There was still the chance that they would pick someone young because habits from other workplaces will cause trouble, or something like that. In the end, it was really up to luck.
Isn't it always? Natsui! I missed you.
Later, Madame Natsui told me she finally gave us a final word that I'll get the job. And I could see a smile on her face.
Yes, I'm smiling.
And thus I became the full-time cook who would serve the Shamiya family. For the duration of the contract, I could not offer my food to anyone except this family, which helped to stimulate my pride even more. Nobody will see my cooking except the Uchiramiya family. Not bad. And thus started my second life at the Rokonjima mansion. Well, my troubles as a cook and a servant would be very tedious to read and uninteresting to keep writing about. It would be too boring. That's why I decided to write down interesting things about my working life in Rokonjima. And the most interesting thing is, no doubt, the legend of Beatrice, or should I say, Beatrice, the Golden Witch. All over Japan, wherever you are, there are stories about curses and such. Of course, the hotel I used to work in also had plenty of these.
The painting.
So, the first time I heard the story of my new job, I smiled bitterly and thought, oh, not this again. But this story was different from the others. Most such horror stories in Japan focused on ghosts or yokai. This legend of Beatrice, the Golden Witch, was different enough in that to make me uncomfortable. However, this mention of the Rokonjima family gives you a sensation of anachronism. So even if a ghost like Oiwa-san with a head wrapped into triangular bandage were to come out, you'd probably only snicker at her instead. Perhaps ghost stories do suit a mansion like this one. They say that the lady from the portrait in the reception hall wanders about the mansion every night. They say that this lady rules this mansion at night, that even if you don't respect her, you'll meet a cruel fate, and so on and so forth. Yada yada ipso fatso. I've even heard that a servant once spoke ill of Lady Beatrice, and this very same servant ended up retiring soon after with a serious injury. In other words, anything bad that happens to this island may get attributed to the curse of Lady Beatrice. Further expanding on that, it means that whenever something bad happens, the one who gets the blame is the person who doesn't respect her. I quickly figured that out and made sure to act like I respected Beatrice deeply. But in my heart I sneered at her, since there was no way something so absurd existed.
this another new song?
This ghost story of Beatrice was blindly accepted by the singer's servants. Respect her or you'll be cursed. Thanks to phrases like that, it felt like a person might die an unnatural death if they don't respect the witch. There's a strong oral warning us not to speak ill of Lady Beatrice, and not to take her lightly. Even chatting about her over tea wasn't something we ever did. As strange as it may be, if you've lived among people like this for a long time, you start to think like them. I was starting to become afraid that one day, during my usual night patrol, I might pass by in front of that huge portrait and her eyes would glare at me. Even so, I was above these simple horror stories. So I thought. The night rounds are difficult since we have to check if all the doors and windows are closed inside of this huge mansion. On the other hand, the family was already asleep, and I could relax somewhat as a servant. One night, when I was passing by the reception hall, I saw a silhouette disappearing towards the grand staircase. I heard footsteps too. Since I had thought that the master and madam were always sleeping, and I was kind of slacking around, I got greatly flustered and tense. The floating shadow left the impression of a female figure. Among the servants, there's no one with a silhouette like that, so I automatically thought it was madam or milady. It seemed like the silhouette was wearing a negligee.
However, oh, sorry.
However, when I think carefully, that was quite a strange story. Madam was an extremely serious person, and I always said the corridors inside the mansion were the same as public roads. In other words, she meant that people shouldn't walk around the corridors in informal clothing such as pajamas.
Oh god, Gaiatress. Oh my god.
Actually, even when the people of the Tremere family were home, they were always using formal garments. At home, one should relax and wear more comfortable clothes, but such logic didn't apply to this family.
Oh my god! Ah! So fucking nostalgic!
I actually have seen Madam chewing Milady out for having her clothes out of shape. So, after thinking carefully, I concluded that no such silhouettes were supposed to exist in this mansion. The more I think about it, the less likely it seems there was a person from the mansion. Then who on earth did I see? Was it really Lady Beatrice? I saw the silhouette in the reception hall. In other words, in front of a portrait. After some time passed, I felt even more scared than the moment I saw the silhouette.
Canon-san.
Oh, he speaks.
Canon,
今はお暇ですか?
do you have a minute?
道具を洗って片付けたら大階段の掃除をするつもりですから
I'm washing and tidying up the tools. After which I have planned to clean the grand staircase.
何か
Why?
He is a servant who uses the alias of Canon, and was allowed to wear the one-winged eagle. From the very start, I thought I wouldn't be able to get along well with him, and now I didn't even want to try anymore. However, that moment was so unusual that I wanted to discuss it with him. He's been serving the Shrimia family longer than I have, and knows details of the horror story of Beatrice. Even so, I can't help talking to him as if I'm his superior. To sum it up, I didn't like talking to him very much.
Yeah, feelings mutual.
But for now, I just want to talk to someone about my experience. I don't care what he says to me. I won't be able to calm down unless I talk to someone. I see. Now I understand the feelings of the barber who couldn't help but shout that the king has donkey ears.
あれはベアトリーチェ様だったんでしょうかね。
I think I saw Lady Beatrice tonight.
カノンさんには似たような経験は？
Has that ever happened to you, Canon?
Yesn't.
He remained silent and stared at me motionlessly, as if evaluating me. It was as though it was a cat pondering about whether to stay or run away. When I started thinking he was just ignoring me, Canon answered.
僕は深夜勤の見回りの時
Once, when I was doing the rounds during my shift, late at night,
黄金の蝶を見たことがあります
I saw a golden butterfly.
黄金の蝶。ベアトリーチェ様が現れるときに先触れとして飛ぶとかいう。
A golden butterfly. They say that when Lady Beatrice appears, they fly around to announce a presence, right? That was what I heard. They say that butterflies that shine of gold are an omen of Lady Beatrice's appearance. That story was very similar to the will-o'-the-wisps that appear before a ghost shows up. But unlike the will-o'-the-wisps, golden butterflies don't have an ominous image associated with them. I would actually want to see such a beautiful thing at least once if it really exists. However, if I happen to meet them during a night round all alone, I'm sure they'd look really ominous.
古い使用人たちの間では黄金の蝶はベアトリーチェ様の現れる先触れである
The old servants say that the golden butterflies announce the appearance of Lady Beatrice.
そしてその後を追えばベアトリーチェ様に出会えるだろうと言われています
Bye,
その後を
Verncastle.
追ってはならないとも言われています
And that we might meet her if we follow them. But they also tell us not to follow.
My god, I haven't used the canon voice in so long. I can't believe I remember it. Jeez.
だからカノンさんは後を追わなかった。
So, Canon, you didn't follow after them?
はい
No.
それはベアトリーチェ様に対し不敬に当たりますので
Going after them would be the same as disrespecting Lady Beatrice.
ああ、その後を追った使用人が確か大怪我をして辞めたんでしたっけ？
If I remember, a servant who followed after them had a serious injury and resigned, right?
そう聞いています
Yes, I have heard of that.
ベアトリーチェ様は敬う者には寛大ですがそれを書く者には残酷だそうです
Lady Beatrice is kind to those who respect her, but cruel to those who do not.
Canon's mood. Oh, sorry.
Canon's mood hinted that even talking so much about Lady Beatrice was a really bad idea. It was beyond his usual dislike towards me.
I hate that guy.
貴重な時間を失礼しましたね。
Sorry for wasting your time.
多分あれは私の見間違いだったのでしょう。
I guess I made a mistake.
多分奥様かお嬢様が寝巻き姿で歩かれたのを見て勘違いしてしまったのでしょう。
Perhaps it was Madame of a lady wearing a pajama.
奥様やお嬢様がそのような姿で廊下に出られることは断じてありません。
Madame or Milady would absolutely never go out in the corridor wearing such clothing.
しかし私は姿を見ました。
But I did see a figure.
白いネグリジェを着た女性のようなイメージだった。
It was like that of a woman wearing a negligee.
奥様とお嬢様の寝巻きにそのようなものは聞いていません。
Hello, sheep. We're almost done, but welcome to the stream.
I don't think the Madame or Milady even have clothes like that.
うん。
Oh. It's possible that this was the answer I actually wanted to hear. That the female silhouette was neither Madame nor Milady. Could it really have been Lady Beatrice? I don't understand. I don't want to acknowledge the existence of witches just because of this. I need to figure out whose shadow it was. Perhaps this intention of mine was reflected on my face. Because Canon noticed it and warned me.
ゴーダさん、
Okay, wait.
Good-san,
悪いことは言いません。
do not say anything.
ベアトリーチェ様を冒涜するような行為は慎まれた方が身のためかと思います。
For your own good. You should be careful with acts that might insult Lady Beatrice.
まさかまさか。
Oh, not at all, no, no.
そんなつもりはありませんよ。
I wasn't intending to do anything of the sort.
僕も以前
I too, not so long ago,
ベアトリーチェ様の存在を疑ったことがあります。
have doubted the existence of Lady Beatrice.
え？カノンさんが？
Ah, even you, Canon.
はい。
Yes.
今ゴーダさんが持っている感情と同じです。
This is some master lying right here. Seriously.
I had the same opinion you did.
古い使用人たちが敬え敬えと繰り返す謎の魔女の存在に疑問を感じたことがあります。
I was doubtful of the existence of this mysterious witch, and confused by the insistence of the old servant to respect her.
もしその正体があるならば暴いてやろうとさえ。
I even thought about discovering her true face, if she had one.
That was unexpected. I was thinking that Canon believed in Lady Beatrice blindly, but now he's telling me that he had doubts about her existence in the past. Now he's even more worried.
そのカノンさんがなぜ
And
信
why,
じることに？
why do you believe now, Canon?
魔女にしかできない奇跡を見せられたからです。
Because I was shown a miracle that only a witch could possibly do.
いえ、奇跡じゃない。
No, not a miracle.
あれは警告でした。
It was a warning.
その存在を疑い冒涜する僕にベアトリーチェ様が警告されたのです。
A warning from Lady Beatrice herself not to doubt or insult her.
その話聞いてもいいですか？
Sorry, but could you tell me about this in detail?
Crap. God damn it. I should be a DM.
He went silent once again. It's like with context. This is amazing in context, because like she's just like absolutely panicking, like making sure everything stays internally consistent in their head. Like seriously. Like
However, I wanted to do something about the haze in my heart, so I didn't give up. I kept insisting, and he told me about the story of how he started to believe in the witch. In short, it went like this. One day, he was cleaning the gardening storehouse. He forgot to put in the key of the storehouse back in the key box in the 7th room, and went to bed with it in his pocket. He could only open and close the storehouse with this one single key. There's no spare, and master keys don't work with this lock. In other words, nobody should be able to enter the storehouse that night. Next morning, in order to do the maintenance in the rose garden, he opened the gardening storehouse to get the tools and was shocked. The thoroughly cleaned interior of the gardening storehouse was transformed into an utter mess. And there was an eerie drawing on the floor of something that looked like a magic circle in blood-like red paint.
And the way Ryukoshi describes it, blood-like red paint. It literally is red paint, but it's like literally it like drives your mind to the conclusion. It's really, this story is so well written in that, like, I just seriously.
What an absurd story. If you had the key the whole time, the storehouse was a closed room.
It's like, because Yasuda is taking advantage of how people see the character of Canon as someone very responsible and honest, and using that to their advantage, like in creating this whole narrative that, you know, for somebody that's lazy and irresponsible wouldn't work. Like, this is literally Yasuda on the spot thinking of an incredible excuse for forgetting to do their chores, like forgetting to clean up. This is just fucking, like, and incredible. Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
If you had the key the whole time, the storehouse was a closed room. Nobody would be able to make a mess inside or draw such strange pictures.
I also couldn't believe it back then. Even to this day, I remember the shock I experienced from opening the storehouse and seeing both the mess that only a tornado could have made and the eerie magic circle.
Of course, in a situation like this, it couldn't have not looked eerie. But is there truly no simple explanation? It could have just been an elaborate prank, someone prepared to frighten you.
Prank.
Yes, precisely. You are young.
This is like a Phoenix Wright type theme right here.
To tease you, the other servants could have played a prank on you, couldn't they?
But I had the key. At least during that night. There's no way anyone else could have entered the storehouse.
And like inside the head, it's like, come on, I can at least defeat Goda. Give me a fucking break here.
Couldn't there be a spare that you simply don't know about?
いいえ、ないはずです。
There should be no such thing.
それを言い切れますか？
Why are you so certain?
カノンさんはスペアキーはないと信じてる。
You believe that a spare doesn't exist?
しかし、ないは証明できない。
But you can't prove that.
実はカノンさんが知らないだけで、スペアキーは存在するんじゃないでしょうか。
Perhaps a spare key exists and you simply didn't know about it.
そう考えれば、その不可解な密室事件は誰かのいたずらで説明できますよ。
This allows us to explain the incomprehensible closed room as someone's prank. I should be a detective. I felt like I was the greatest. I hear some strange sound in the distance.
Yes! Yes! I, Aragabarudo, hear you! Yes! Surely you are channeling my amazing detecting power! As I, the greatest detective to ever live!
I felt like I was the greatest detective to ever live. Wow, why did I say it like that?
Oh my god! I can't believe that! Holy shit! Oh my god!
Gadden didn't object against my explanation. My mood improved and I am criticizing Lady Beatrice. Witches don't exist. Surely it was a misunderstanding. All the incomprehensible incidents that that are responsible for could have saved simple tricks or coincidences. It's too funny. This is too funny.
I hate that guy.
I'll never forget the wide-eyed expression Cannon showed me at the moment.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh jeez! Oh my god! That was him! What a way to end the stream! Wow!
It was as if he said, "You'll never get away unharmed after saying such dreadful things," as though he was frightened by my stupidity. A face like that. That uncanny expression of his got stuck in my heart as a thorn. I froze and remained like that for a while.
My god, just Goda just wow. Oh my god. This is so hilarious, like knowing the truth of everything. My god. Holy shit, Ryukishi. Wow.
And then one day when I was starting to forget the pain of that thorn. It was a rare day when Master Kinzo was out. Master Kraus, Madam, and Milady were also absent because of a trip, meaning the whole Usharmium family was gone from the island. Because of that, the shift charge had only a few people assigned, so that day only Genji and I were on duty. They often say that when the cat's away, the mice will play. It really was very a pleasant day. Hey, I rhymed. Genji never left the servant room, was busy with paperwork. So I was secretly but carefully strolling through the rose garden with a beer can and a persimmon. It was a really pleasant, wonderful day, and I wish that I could have a day like this at least once a week. The only thing I had to do was cook for myself and Genji, which was a piece of cake. The cooking wasn't too troublesome, so having such a rare opportunity, I cleaned the kitchen more diligently than usual and was wall with a reflection of my wide smile in the sparkling kitchen sink. Genji was in charge of patrolling, so when I was finished with my work, I returned to the servant's room and, to get rid of the daily fatigue, I took a shower. Not that I was particularly tired of just having a drink in the rose garden. Suddenly the phone rang. I thought that calling at this hour meant it was something urgent. But Genji never calls in the middle of the night, even if something urgent happens. He'd rather avoid the phone call and go up to knock the door of the person he had business with. I wondered what must have happened for Genji, of all people to call. In a rush, I covered myself with a bath towel and picked up the phone. Did something happen? His answer to that was really simple. Come to the kitchen as soon as you can. Hurry. It was strange for Genji's voice to sound so nervous. However, the tone of his voice made me realize something very strange must have happened. But what on earth could have happened? By the way, the kitchen to me was my fortress. If whatever happened there was due to my ineptitude, I would be held responsible. But how could I, of all people, mess something up in the kitchen? Anyway, I changed clothes once again and rushed to the kitchen. And then, I'll probably never forget what I saw there. This? What's the meaning of this? I want you to help me out here. It's too much for me to handle alone. Looking at this bizarre situation, I was surprised at how Genji sounds surprised, but only expressed in the nervousness of his voice. Either way, my beloved kitchen that had tidied up so well. It should have been a perfect condition. So why is it like this? On the counter, the pots and bowls that I polished until they shined were piled up like children's building blocks. And around it, the cookware, such as the ladles, were lined up radially. The impression it gave off at first can be described as that of a totem pole built out of cookware.
Can you imagine that, like, Genji doing this at the request of Yasuda? Like, seriously, setting this up. Genji has, like, the ultimate poker face.
Moreover, they were surrounded by thick, blood-like red paint in the shape of an eerie magical circle. Of course, shivers went up my spine. And then in my mind, the thorn from that time was revived. I was sure of it. This was the same thing that Catherine had experienced in the gardening storehouse.
Like, seriously, Yasuda is like an absolute master of this. Like, my god. Wow. She's just, like, holy fuck. Like, this is exactly what Goda needed to believe canon story.
Goda.
こんなものを他の使用人たちに見せるわけにはいかない。
The other servants must not see this.
今夜中に急いで片付けよう。
Let's hurry up and clean.
そうですね。
Right.
片付けましょう。
Right, let's clean.
誰がこんなことを。
Wait, no! Who could have done such a thing? What a strange story. Only Genji and I were on Rokonjima. I would never do such an absurd thing. So this automatically makes Genji the culprit. But would he ever do something like this?
Like, seriously. Like, just like taking advantage of knowing what people's character are, and like what reason would Genji have to do this? It just seems so fucking random. Like, how does this serve Genji in any way? And like, even if you said, oh, Genji wants to believe in Beatrice, why? Like, what reason would Genji have to do that? Seemingly none, like, so much. And like, you'd never think that, like, you know, Genji had such a relationship, like he was subservient to quote-unquote canon. And it's just like, incredible. In-fucking credible.
But would he ever do something like this? What would he gain from such a prank? Does he just want to harass me? But Genji is cleaning too. Why would he make a mess and clean it on his own? Would he do something so pointless just to scare me?
Yes. Yes!
That's impossible. If I were to find a culprit for this grotesque prank with a magic circle, I can only think of the Golden Witch, Beatrice.
Genji さんはいつこれに気づいたんですか?
Genji, when did you notice this?
見回りが終わって使用人室に戻ろうとしたら、厨房の扉が開けっぱなしになっているのに気づいてな。
When I finished my round and was about to return to the servants' room, I noticed that the door of the kitchen had been left open.
覗いたらこのざまだった。
I took a peek and it was already in this state.
まさか泥棒?
Could it have been a burglar?
戸締まりは完全だった。
The mansion is perfectly locked.
それにこの六軒島に泥棒などわざわざ来るわけもない。
Besides, there's no way a burglar would go through the trouble of coming to Rokonjima.
じゃあ誰がこんなことを?
Then who could have done this?
それを詮索する必要はない。
There's no need to figure that out.
ゴーダはとにかく鍋を片付けるように。
Goda, you will wash the dishes again.
私はこれを消す。
I'll erase the scribbles.
とにかくこの落書きを他の者の目に触れさせるわけにはいかない。
We should not allow them to reach the eyes of anyone else.
私カノンさんに聞いたんですが、前にも園芸倉庫でこんなことがあったとか。
Sorry, but I heard from Canon that something similar to this happened before at the gardening storehouse.
こういうことはよくあるんですか?
So, does this kind of thing happen often? Perhaps I shouldn't have asked. Even though his mouth and lips never stopped moving, Genji turned around and raised his head with a grim face.
カノンめ。
Canon, huh?
あれほど口外してはならないと言ったのに。
And I told him to keep quiet about this too.
すみません。彼のことは叱らないでください。
I'm sorry. Please, don't scold him.
私が無理に聞き出したんです。
I was the one who insisted.
それより教えてください。
Please, just tell me.
こういうことは前にもよくあったんですか？
Did this kind of thing happen often before?
時に
It happens now and again.
な、よくあるいたずらだ。
These pranks aren't that rare.
いたずらって一体誰が？
Pranks, you say? But who could?
だって今日は私と源氏さんしかいないんですよ。
After all, there's only the two of us here, right? Just the two of us. In the Aprils in the sky. Who could possibly be here except us?
もちろん私じゃない。じゃあ源氏さんがこれを？
Of course I didn't do this. Then did you do this, Kenji?
そんなわけだってあるはずがない。
I don't understand.
じゃあこれはどういうことなんです？誰の仕業なんです？
What did it all mean? Who did this?
それを無理に考えようとしてはならない。
Don't think about it.
ただ黙って片付けるんだ。
Just be silent and clean.
決して誰にも口外してはならないぞ。
Never tell of this to anyone.
親方様はもちろん、旦那様にも奥様にも、もちろんお嬢様にもだ。
Not to Master Kinzo, Master Kraus, nor to Madame Natsuhi, and not to Milady either.
カノンは後で罰しておく。
Canon shall be punished later. And by punished I mean high-fived and told that their plan totally worked.
二度と聞きませんから教えてください。
I won't say a word to anyone, so please answer me.
じゃあ源氏さんはこれをベアトリーチェの仕業だというのですか？
I won't say a word to anyone, so please answer me. Genji, do you think Beatrice did this?
その名をむやみに口にするな。
Don't say her name so recklessly.
なぜです？
Why?
その名をむやみに、そして呼びつけにする使用人は
Just Genji setting up the fucking lore. Ooh, thank you, St. Paul. Oh, that's really sweet of you to say. Welcome to the stream. We're almost done here, but you can always catch the VOD. What? Hello, Princess of Balance.
The servants who do this don't last long here.
ゴーダの料理の腕は特に奥様が高く評価されている。
Goda, Madame highly values your cooking skill.
お前にやめられては困る。
It'd be troublesome if you had to quit. That sounded a little threatening. And at the same time, it seemed like he was basically admitting to this being the fault of Lady Beatrice. These strange cases, perhaps, were not limited by what happened in the gardening storehouse. And without any doubt, whenever this happens, it's covered up before the family can notice it.
二度とうかつには口にしませんから教えてください。
I won't speak her name carelessly again.
これはベアトリーチェ様の仕業なのですか？
So please tell me, was this done by Lady Beatrice?
私はそうだと思っている。
Most likely, yes.
過去の例ではより不可解な事件もあった。
The previous cases were even more incomprehensible.
明らかに人間には不可能な形。
And they were definitely impossible for a human. So don't even think about trying to be the greatest detective that ever lived. I would never!
どのような？
Like what?
夜回りをしていた若い使用人が黄金の蝶を見てその後を追った。
A young servant who was doing the night round saw a golden butterfly and went after it.
戸締まりがされた勝手口に行き着き、見失い断念した。
Arriving at the closed back door, she lost sight of the butterfly and gave up.
確か黄金の蝶を見ても後を追ってはならないということになってましたね。
If I'm not mistaken, when you see a golden butterfly, you're not supposed to go after it, right? Indeed.
そして後ろを振り返ったと
Then she turned around.
そこの壁にはこれと同じような魔法陣が壁いっぱいに描かれていたのだ。
And the entire wall has been painted over by magic circles, similar to this one.
じゃあその若い使用人が黄金の蝶を追って諦めて。
Oh, so that means that young servant followed after the golden butterfly, gave up and...
振り返ったらもうそこに描かれていたというのですか。
You're telling me that in the few seconds she wasn't looking?
壁に背を向けていたわずか数秒の間に
The entire wall was painted over.
見過ごすような壁ではなかった。
She couldn't have overlooked the wall either. So there's no way that this could have been a prank or done by a person. None. Don't even try to think of ways.
彼女は壁に最初何も描かれていなかったと強く証言している。
She strongly insisted that the wall had no drawings on it at first.
そして勝手口が施錠されているのを確認し、引き返そうと振り返った。わずか数秒の間だったそうだ。
And she also said it happened in the few seconds it took her to check the back door was locked and turn around.
まさかご冗談を。
No way! You're kidding me!
そんなのその使用人たちの冗談では。
Couldn't even have been a joke.
連絡を受けて私もそれを消すのを手伝った。
She called me and I came to help her erase it.
複雑な文様だった。
The pattern was too complex.
わずか数秒で描けるものでは断じてない。
It certainly wasn't something you could draw in a few seconds.
そして見過ごすことも断じてないだろう。
And it wasn't something you could possibly overlook either.
その使用人はその直後に高熱を出し、入院して退職した。
Right after this, the servant was hospitalized with a high fever and had to retire.
その後は郷里に帰ったらしい。連絡もつかない。
She returned to her hometown afterwards and never got in touch with any of us again.
そんなバカなことが。
Absurd!
Good night, Ji-chan.
いや、それすらも高度ないたずらかもしれない。
No, perhaps that even that was an advanced prank!
むしろその若い使用人がいたずらの犯人で、そういうことにしてみんなをからかったとか。
Perhaps the young servant did this herself to make fun of everybody or something.
なるほど。そういう見方もできるかもしれないな。
Yes, this is also a valid viewpoint.
もうおしゃべりはこれまでにし。
But I would like to stop talking about this now. I said stop thinking about it.
だが私は
After all,
絶対に人間では不可能なことを自らの身をもって体験している。
I myself had a first-hand experience with something that is definitely impossible for a human. Oh?
それは一体。
What?
Genji, stop talking there. After a long pause,
Genji stopped talking there. After a long pause, he started to ignore me completely and resume cleaning. Genji was a very pragmatic person and very serious about his work. Only kept silent when it came to Lady Beatrice. In silence, told me that she exists better than a million words could.
just like seriously, just the taking advantage of how they know people's characters and like, why would they possibly have any reason to lie about this? It's just like, really, like, because once you realize it's all lies, it's like figuring out the reason why they would lie is just the absolute hardest part, because it's like, yeah, somebody could be lying, but what do they gain from lying about this? And like, once you know, it's like, oh, things lie together so much easier.
We finished the cleaning. Even if we told someone that a weird totem pole and magic circle were in the kitchen, nobody would ever believe it. Genji warned me once again not to speak of it to anyone. I tried to forcibly erase the events of that night from my mind with strong alcohol. A lot of time had passed, and I just to conclude that it was a joke from someone with awful taste. But even nowadays, I get frightened sometimes. The first thing every morning for me is to go to the kitchen to make breakfast. At those times, I get frightened that my cookware would end up piled up in a strange manner again. It's better if I forget about it. I want to help myself forget by writing it down here. At any rate, I hope I will never have to go through something like this again. Toshiro G.
Too bad it's going to happen again. All right. You guys! Umineko is back! Woo! Yes, I will. Oh my god. Seriously, y'all, thank you so much for coming and listening and along with me. Oh my god, you guys. Umineko is back. Oh, seriously. Seriously, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll continue next time. I believe we'll do some of the non-canon stories, some of the goofier ones next time. And of course, we have on Tuesday, we have more Root Double. So that is a fantastic story. If you like Umineko, like Higurashi, and also if you like 999, I'd fully recommend Root Double. So, until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.